Hello there. I have the privilege of having Kamran Ahmed with me here today. How are you doing, Kamran?
I'm good. Thank you, Marcelo, for having me.
My pleasure. Kamran, what did you do today?
What did I do today? I woke up, had some work on roadmap, and we had our call.
So what's your call?
Your voice is breaking up, Marcelo, again. It broke up
Is it
again.
breaking up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm on a 1 gig connection here. So are you on Wi-Fi by any chance?
Yeah, I am. No, I am on the Wi-Fi, yeah, also.
Yeah, maybe why. But let's keep going. Let's see how that goes. What I asked is what's your job? You work full time on roadmap.sh is what you do? What's
Yes,
your
right.
job title?
Yeah, right now I'm working full time on roadmap.sh. So I started on roadmap in 22. So
Mhm.
from 20, before 22, it used to be a side project, but now it is my full time job after that.
Fantastic. So before we talk about your career, going back in time, how did the technology and how did computers appear in your life?
Okay, so my introduction to computer was gaming. So I started gaming, playing games around 2005, 4, 5 at that time. So mostly it was games. I used to play like game for 2, 3 years, and then I just dropped it. No more gaming at all. Then in 2010, it was when I started my education in software engineering. That's where I started formal education. Then I started formally learning computers. So the way it came into my life was not through a passion or something. So I started computer science because we're talking about 2010. At that time, computer science was not the super cool field. I mean, there were everyone was trying to do electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and all that stuff. I was not able to get admission in anywhere in any of those fields because they were super competitive, and I was not really good at education back then. So I applied for computer science and I got in because the merit was super low. And that's how I started. But then I found the passion in like 1 year in, I just started learning and I fell in love with programming. And that's how I was able to do whatever I'm doing today.
So you're born in Pakistan, right?
Yes, Pakistan.
So you got into computer science in Pakistan.
Yes.
So and you said that the competition was not as high as in mechanical engineering.
Yeah, at that time it was not high. I mean, like electrical engineering or doctors or mechanical
Mhm.
engineering or like these kind of engineering, they were considered proper engineering. Software engineering at that time was not like proper software engineering. It was not considered proper engineering. So there were not
Interesting.
many people trying to get into it.
Yeah, so was it university that you got into, or college, or
Yeah, it
what
was a
level of?
it was a small university. It was
Mhm,
called Government College University in Faisalabad in Pakistan, in my hometown.
mhm.
It was small university, not that big, and it was not even known for computer science. So they started computer science recently. The Department of Computer Science recently. They had only one batch before us, and ours was the second batch.
Fantastic.
So
And how?
it was not the best university. I mean, they did not teach you very well. They did not go deep into everything. Like the professors were also like they were mostly like they did not have any experience outside the education. So it was just education. So I still consider myself self-taught because I had to learn it all by myself.
So and how did you learn? What kind of resources did you use back then to learn? Because you could quickly realize that the university was not as good as you had expected to be, and you had to supplement your education. And how did you learn?
So it was, I mean, it was not the best, but it was not the poorest as well. So first few semesters, like first and second semester, they were teaching us the programming fundamentals, and they did us some challenges. The patterns that you need to draw in C++, like the stars triangle, you need
Yep.
to draw a star scale, and so on. So they used to give us, and then I would just I felt, I mean, I liked doing this, so I just went on the internet and then find out like give me C++ challenges for different patterns, and I started doing this by myself. So for the first 2 semesters, I was just looking at all these challenges by myself and doing what they were teaching me. So this helped me build up my problem solving skills. Then in third semester, we had a professor who had some professional experience doing a job. He came into the university and he was teaching us database fundamentals. And he gave us some projects in PHP. He said that build this app. that needs the backend database, and this needs some front end as well. And after that, I saw PHP, and then I started doing PHP, and then I talked to him and I asked him like, what should I learn next? And he told me like, learn this next and that next and so on. So I kept on learning just random languages. I learned C# from there, VB.NET at that time. I learned also I started learning Unity 3D for game development at that time. So I just kept on learning different stuff on my own after this, because uh, after the programming fundamentals, I felt like this was the next step to build some proper tangible projects.
Mhm. So you start building small projects. That's what you did.
Yeah, I just started building random projects. So I built one link sharing application at that time. Then I built a school management system where you could
Mhm.
manage your courses and so on. Nothing super extraordinary, but just build random stuff. I tried to build like a Facebook at that time also by myself, because everyone tries to do that, right? So
Yeah.
I was just trying random stuff just to see like how I can build all these
Yeah.
apps there.
Yeah. It's so for a combination of some guidance from some of the professors there, some of the instructors, plus your research and your desire to build something to try, you managed to learn. And
Yeah.
how was the path to the first job? How did you get your first job?
So I started my first job in sixth semester. So this would be third year in the summer
Mhm.
vacation. So I just printed 20 copies of my resume and I took my bite out, and then I just started, like, I opened Google and searched for top companies or software companies, not top, software companies in Faisalabad, my hometown.
Yep.
There were not many. There were like 5 to 10 companies, like small companies. They were just building local software or running some blogs and so on. And I went to them all one by one, dropped my resume, asking like, "Do you have any job?" Most of them said, "No, we don't have any opening." But there was this one company. There were 3 people sitting in a room, and they said that come in. They were building a local ERP system, like not an ERP, like a small business management solution.
Hmm.
They have a desktop application. So they were building for local shops. So they took my interview. They asked me like, "What do you know?" I told them I know C#, I know game development, I know this and that, and so on. They did not need all of that. They needed someone to build the desktop applications with VB.NET. So the guy asked me some interview questions about object-oriented programming, and he said that, okay, we'll call you back. And then the next day they called me. They said that we might have some work for you. Do you want to come in? And they said that we'll take you for free because you don't have any experience. I said, okay, fine. Then I joined them. I knew some Bootstrap at that time, some HTML, CSS, responsive web
Hmm.
design, jQuery as well. So they put me in a guy with another person who was working on the desktop app. So they were saying that we are building this web version of this ERP system. So maybe help us build that. So the guy had some complex forms. He said that make them responsive. And I started working with him on the web version of this desktop application. But then after a week or so, the guy who was working with me, he just decided to leave the company. And then I did not have suddenly anyone to work with me on the web app. They said that now you have this ASP.NET application built with this whole ERP backend already. So you need to build the web version yourself. I did not have any experience with ASP.NET. I said that, okay, fine. For a moment, I thought that this is scary for me. Like, how would I do this? There's no one to teach me. I did not have any professional experience. How can I
Hmm.
work with ASP.NET? So I decided to leave them. But then I thought that maybe I should continue because they're not paying me. So there's nothing to lose. So I can just might as well try.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I decided to try. I kept on trying for a week, and then I said that it is not for me. Like ASP.NET is super complicated language,
Hmm.
and I did not enjoy it as much, and there was not many resources online as well. So I decided to just do it on PHP on my own, and I did not tell them that I'm going to do it with PHP. I kept on building it with CodeIgniter on the side, and then after a week or so, I just came to them and said that here is the PHP version. I did not go with ASP because I did not do it. And the guys, they were 2 guys, so they were working with .NET desktop app. I
Yeah.
showed it to them, and then he said, "Why did you do this? We asked you to do .NET because we know .NET. We don't know PHP, so we don't want PHP. You should have done with PHP." But then they looked at it, and then everything was working with PHP. They said, "Okay, fine, we'll give it a try." And then
you switch the company technology.
yeah, because I mean, it was easy
Fantastic.
because they did not have any mobile web app as well at the
Yeah,
time.
of course. Yeah.
So they gave it to their QA guys, the testing guys. So they said, have a look at it and see, like, is it working or not. The guy came up with a lot of bugs, but he said that it is the other app is incomplete, so we might as well fix this, and then let's continue with this. And then that's how we started doing PHP at that company, and then I kept on working on this complex application. I used MySQL for database at that time, so I learned a lot from this project because of this challenge that I had there.
And did they decide to start paying you at some point in time, or did they keep you for free for a while?
No, for the first 2 months for free. Third month they paid me, I think, how many? I don't remember now actually. 5,000 or 5,000, I think, which is like $10 or something. Like it's super low.
$10 a month.
A month, yeah, 10 $15, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure like exact number.
Mhm.
But after like 4 months, they started paying me more. Like they made it 20,000, then they made it 35,000. By the end, when I left them, they were paying me 35,000 Pakistani rupees, which is like $50 or something per month.
Mhm. Yep. Yep. Crazy, but it's at the same time, it's an opportunity for you to learn something that's also interesting, that gave you confidence to be able to say, well, this thing here that you want to do doesn't work this way. It's better to do this way. And they look at your proposal and they said, yeah, this makes more sense than these other things. So you kind of develop some skills in that area as well. And how did life evolve after that? Did you get you another job shortly after that, or how did life evolve?
So this university, so after summer vacation, my university started. So I said that
Mhm.
I will not be doing full time now. I'll be working part time. So I used to go to the university in the morning, like 8 to almost like sometimes 2 p.m., 3 p.m. I would go to university, and after university, I'll go back to the office. So I kept on working with them for one full year, so till the time I graduated. But before graduation, I started applying for bigger companies. So I thought maybe like this is a small company, I need to get experience in some bigger company. So I kept looking for jobs. I found an offer. I got an offer from a company in Lahore, which is a different
Mhm.
city.
Yep.
It was a bigger company, not as small as this, but not super big as well. There were like 250 people there, and they decided to offer me 45,000. So they were paying me 35. They said 45. I said that it is not a super salary bump, but then I thought that maybe different company, I'll get to learn more stuff, work with more people, so maybe I should go. So I
Yep.
decided to leave my job there, and I went there to this company, and then I started working there. This was a service-based company, so they had a lot of projects from US-based companies. They put me on work with a healthcare application, so I started working on that. So this was built with Laravel. At that time, Laravel was quite new.
Yep.
So I started
Framework.
working with Yes, I started working with Laravel framework. Then they had a lot of projects. They gave me also Drupal projects and mobile
Mhm.
applications and this and that. So I kept on working with there for 2 months. So we had, I think, 20 people at that time in my team, the technical team that we had. But I learned a lot there as well. So this was different learning than my previous company. Working on a small company, everything was unmanaged. I had to do everything by myself. But this was a properly managed company. There was some agile methodologies that were being used. There were stand-ups and so on. So I worked there for 2 years. After
Mhm.
that, I had a job offer from Dubai. So I went to Dubai.
Oh,
Uh,
Dubai, fantastic.
that's
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where my career took off. So this was a
Mm.
startup. Again, small company. There were 20 people at that time. I
Mhm.
joined them as a software engineer. This was a product-based company. So things were completely different from previous two companies here, because it was their own product. They were trying to do everything properly. They had properly CI/CD configurations. They had proper code reviews. There were proper stand-ups, and so on. And I joined them on their flights team. So this was a travel portal for booking flights, hotels,
Mhm.
packages, and stuff like that. And I joined them in the flights team. So I was helping them with the flights booking platform. So we were 20 people. We did not have a proper launch product. So they were supposed to launch it in some time when I joined them. And they put me in the flight team. I was working on the flight team. Then the guy said that we are almost near the launch. My CTO, he said that maybe you can pick up the back office and work on that. So back office
Mhm.
was the application where we'll be managing the orders, looking at the orders, looking at the payments, looking at the customers, and then refunding the customers if we need and so on. So there were a lot of APIs and so on. I had a mix of experience like front end, back end. I had full stack experience. So the guy said that we don't have a proper team who can do all of this. So maybe you can pick this up. So they put me in this team in the separate project, and I kept on building this on the side by myself, and I built this back office application. Then they saw that the back office was ready. Now he saw that I can do this front end, back end, all this stuff. So every new project that he was getting, the CTO, whatever he was thinking of, he was just giving it to me. Like, pick this up, do this, do
Because
this.
you're doing whatever he wanted you to do, and you did it well.
Yeah, and then because of this, I could work. I got to work on a lot of different projects there. Like,
Mhm.
I built a lot of API. Like, payment platform was built by me. Then apart from this, I also worked on config management, some CI/CD tools, some internal tooling that I did, back office. So a lot of different things there. So this is where I learned a lot. But this was also a bit different and a bit challenging for me also, because we used to go to office. I used to go at 9 a.m. in the morning, and I would come back at 12 a.m., 1 a.m. at night. There
Wow.
was a lot of pressure, but there was also a lot of learning at the same time as well. So that's why I just kept on going. But the company grew from 20 people to 1,000 people within
Wow.
3 years, and I kept on growing with the company as well. So
Fantastic.
more money, more responsibilities, so more growth as well. But after some time, like a year or two, because I put all this extra effort in, I like also was one of the respected guys there. Like, I got the lead architect position as well,
Mhm.
and I stayed there for almost 3 years.
Fantastic. And that's in Dubai, correct?
Dubai, yeah.
Correct. And where did you go after that?
So I stayed in Dubai for 3 years, not 3 years. So I stayed for 2 years. I had an offer from Germany, a German
Hmm.
company. It was called Auto One. So they were also like a unicorn in Germany, in Berlin. I decided to go there. I thought Germany is way ahead in terms of tech. There's a lot of good companies there, big names there, and this company was also growing. I told my CTO that I'm going to go join them there. I decided to put my resign in their resignation. He tried to persuade me to stay, but I said no. I have to go, and I
Yep.
said that I'm leaving. So I just decided to go and leave them and go to Germany. But they also used to have a German office. So he said, go and join this office. I said, no, I don't want to join the Jewel because it is still the same learning. I want to take different learnings from different company. And I was there already for 2 years. So he said, okay, fine, leave. But if you want to come back, tell me. So he gave me this offer, but then I was there at this new company. I had this in the back of my mind that I can go there. I can go there. I had all my friends there. I knew about all the products and so on. So after a few months, I said that I want to join you back in the Jewel, the same company. So he
Oh,
said that, yeah, I don't want to, I can't take you back here because we need to apply the visa process and so on. They already have the visa in Germany, so maybe you can join our German office. So he put me there in the German office, and I was working from there. I was the only remote guy from there who was working with Dubai office from
yep.
there. I stayed with them for almost 6, 7 months, but I kept on pushing, like, take me back, take me back. I need to come back because German language is not so easy.
Yep.
I tried learning that, I could not. And then apart from this, also the weather was not so good. I went in summer, in winter, so it was peak winter, like December, January, and then winter stays there for like 6 months is cold, 6 months is bearable. And here I used to eat from outside and so on, but there I had to cook by myself and so on,
Yep.
and it was a different lifestyle. I did not have a license there. I could not drive. I had to cycle everywhere. No friends at all. So that's why I just decided to come back again. So after 6 months of staying in Germany, I came back to Dubai, and then I stayed with them for another year and a half or so. So there I left. I stayed there for 3 years in Tajawal. After that, I decided. So this CTO, he left the company,
Mhm.
and my new CTO came, and I was not really happy at that time. There was not much learning. The guy was just uh, changing the tech stack from PHP to Java unnecessarily, rewriting all the stuff, and so on. So I was finding myself repeating the same things again and again. So I thought maybe I should look for a different job.
Yep.
So I found a much bigger company. So this company was like 10,000 employees,
Wow.
and it was called. They had a product called Unas. So it is a competitor to Farfetch, but for Middle East. So they were into luxury brands and so on. So I
Mhm.
decided to join them. I also got a super high salary bump as well, almost like 40% of the salary bump. And then I joined them there, and I started working with them. I worked with them for almost like 8 months. This was good company. I learned a lot as well there. This was a bigger established product, but I learned because they had different way of doing things.
Yep.
The tech stack was almost similar, but they were doing things a bit differently, like different programming patterns and so on. The previous company was more into object-oriented. This was more into functional programming. There we were using MongoDB and MySQL. Here we were using Postgre. There we had microservices. Here we had like monolithic application. They were trying to refactor.
Interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, this is where I stayed for almost 8 months.
Cool. And did you go from there to creating roadmap, or did you go
So
somewhere else?
Roadmap started in my previous company in Tajawal in 2016. So on the side, when I was working there, on the side on the weekends, I would just try to practice the things that I was learning at the job by myself on the side projects. So roadmap was built as a side project. So I built these 3 images, front end, back end, and DevOps, in 3 roadmaps, and I put them on GitHub. And I was just working on the side with the job. Like I would spend an hour or 2 maybe every weekend, every other weekend, and it was just there. Roadmap website was built around 2018, 19, after I joined the second company.
And you built that as a way to document what you're learning?
No, so roadmap was built. So when I was in university, I was IEEE ambassador, and also I was Microsoft student partner. So I was doing a lot of meetups and workshops and so on. So students were still reaching out to me asking for guidance, like how could they find a job, or how could they get into career, like how could they shape their career and so on. So I built, because I found myself repeating the same answer again and again. I thought maybe I could build this not interactive. I can build this diagram so I can share this with anyone who reaches out to me. So I built it because of that. But then I kept on improving it because people were visiting the website. I was getting a lot of stars on GitHub as well because of that. And I saw that it was a proper pain point, not for the people I knew, but also like wider internet, like people who are trying to learn and so on. So I built it because of that. I kept on doing it on the side. But this was never a completely focused project. I was just doing this to help people, and I was working on other things on the side, like other projects.
And so roadmap, I think it grew to become one of the projects in GitHub with most stars, correct?
Yeah, it is right now the 6th most starred project on GitHub.
Crazy. And do you have an idea how many people use roadmap every single day to kind of guide them on their learning?
So it slowly grew. So in the beginning, it was like GitHub was a lot of people. We were getting like 14,000 visitors per week. But after some time, it went up to almost like 50,000. Then I decided to make a website out of it. Website was slow in the beginning. I was getting like 2 to 3,000, not 2 to 300 per day. Slowly, it went up to almost like 1,000 visitors per day. It went up to almost like 100,000. Then in 22, I still remember it was 250,000 people per month. Right now, we get almost like 6 million page views, and we have 2 million registered users per day. We get almost like 70 to 80,000 visits per day now.
That's fantastic, and so many people impacted by what you did there, right? So much knowledge and so many people learning because of what you built. What do you think when you stop and you think about, you create roadmap and you help so many people to progress through their careers? What crosses your mind?
I'm just happy that I'm able to help this many people. I mean, the way it started was mainly to help people, and then I had a lot of people reach out to me. Not a lot of people, like 3 or 4 people who came to me and they wanted to acquire this, but they wanted to acquire it because they wanted to monetize it. I didn't sell it because the audience was mostly beginners, and I didn't want to make it become a paywall solution where they're trying to promote their courses and so on, and they're trying to rip people off with the courses and so on. But I mean, I used to get a lot of thank you emails from people, like a lot of Twitter messages from people saying that I got into this field because of this roadmap. I got to where I am because of this and so on. I recently got a message from a guy saying that I belong to a super poor family, and I started learning from roadmap, and right now I have a proper job. I'm able to sustain my family and so on because of the roadmap. So thank you for making this and so on. So it is always, I mean, it is rewarding to see that the lives it has impacted just because of little effort that I put.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's incredible that you did that as a side project to start, right? And at what point in time in your career you said, well, I want to go full time on roadmap.sh? How did that happen?
So it was a mix of circumstances that came to be. So I was never planning to go full time on roadmap. I
Mm-hmm.
had a sponsor page where I used to say that I want to go full time on this on roadmap because I know where to take it. I have some ideas for this and so on, but I can't do it because it is not. It used to make no money at all at that time. I was getting some sponsorship, but it was mostly free of cost. I was not making any money from it. So I knew that I cannot work full time on this, even if I want to do it. So what happened was, like, I after this company I joined another company called Trailing. It was a B2B commerce platform by the same guys, like the guys, the CEO and
Yep.
CTO at my first company. I worked with them for almost 2 years, and then they left it. Left it also. I went to Germany. I was working for Zalando. So Zalando is a super big company with almost 3,000 developers,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like millions of users use them. It's an e-commerce platform. So because this company was super big, I was just a small piece in this big
Yep.
company. They were using Scala at that time. It was also complicated. Things used to move super slowly. Even if you have to just change one button, it would take like 3 weeks to get the approval, get the buy-in
Wow.
from everyone, then do it.
Yep.
So it was kind of bored. So in the same time, I got approached by Insight Partners. Insight Partners is a pretty big private equity firm in US. They have like
Mm-hmm.
$92 billion of assets. They're also funding Udemy and Docker and super big names, like big companies
Mm-hmm.
in their portfolio. So they reached out to me and said that we like what you're doing. We would like to have a call with you. I thought, okay, it's just a call. I just went on a call with them, and then we started chatting. They asked me like what your plans are for roadmap, how the numbers look like, and so on. It was not making any money. There was not the traffic was not super high. It was like 250,000 per month, which is good,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not good for them because they mostly invested in bigger names like super big companies.
Yep.
But we started chatting. They asked me like what your plans are for this. I prepared some plan. I shared with them like this is where I want to take it. I want it to be the Google of the learning space. So whenever
Yep.
someone wants to learn something, they would come to roadmap for learning. So I showed them this and so on. So they said that we would like to take it from you. I asked them like, what do you want to do with it? They said that we are trying to build this media wing within Roadmap. So they are investing into a lot of developer platforms. So they want to learn from the developers, like what they are, like where they stay, what they're doing, like what
Mm-hmm.
kind of things they're interested in, and so on. So this was their goal. So that's why they wanted to invest into Roadmap. I asked them like, what would you do after you take this? And then we had some chats. They said that you will still be running it. We'll fund you, and you can keep on doing whatever you want to do with it. We just want you to grow it, and then you keep on doing it. It seemed more convincing than letting it be acquired by some company who was building courses
Of
and so
course.
on, because I knew that they would be pushing their courses and make money from it. And for
Mm-hmm.
them, they did not have any plan to monetize it from the get-go. They just wanted to learn from the people, like how they
Mm-hmm.
use it and so on. So that's why I decided to go with it in 22, and that's when I went full time because I was not happy with the job, and I said that maybe this can become my job and I can learn from it. I can keep growing it while working full time. And then from 22 onwards, it became my full time job, and it never felt like a full time job because I still feel like I'm working on something that I built. I'm helping this many people. It has all this impact, and I can experiment a lot. No processes, nothing. I can just wake up and say that today I need to build this. I can build that. Today we need to build this roadmap. We can do that. And for the past 3 years, this has been my full time job.
That's incredible. And it's we have been talking here for half an hour. I can clearly see that you're motivated by learning. What you like doing is you want to learn. You get a problem, you learn, you got to go to something else, you learn, and at some point in time you build something to help others learn, right? So you're kind of gathering all
Yeah.
the experience you have been able to acquire for so many companies, and you start to build a platform to document your learnings and to build a way to communicate to others what they need to do to get into tech as well. And that comes up roadmap. It's incredible. And it's absolutely fantastic that this became your full-time job. And like you said, you have been doing this now for 3 years, right? So it's fantastic. So what do you envision for the future roadmap? Can you share something with us?
So roadmap, I mean, we just keep looking at how people are using it and how we can improve it. In the beginning, you remember, I mean, when roadmap got acquired, we used to have like 4 roadmaps. People were asking for more and more roadmaps. I could not do it because it was a side project, but now it is full time, so I can look at the feedback and then improve it further based on that feedback. So we added beginner version of some roadmaps, front and back end DevOps. So we looked at the famous roadmaps. We saw where we can help the people more. So we added the beginner friendly version of those roadmaps. Then we saw that people learn with projects more than the roadmap itself. So we decided to add the projects for famous roadmaps. Then we saw that, I mean, we can add question answers that can help people learn from like interview questions that are asked. So we added the section for that. We added best practices. Recently, we added the AI features on the website as well, so you can generate courses with AI. We add the AI integration within the roadmap, so you can start learning while chatting with the roadmap, and so on. So right now, the focus is just like keep on looking at how people are using it and then improving it. So focus has not been on adding more and more roadmaps. The focus has been how we can improve the existing roadmaps further, how can we improve the content, how can we add more project ideas, and the features we can add. Right now, the feature is on building the focus is on building the mobile app. So we recently started the building the mobile app for the roadmap, so that people can learn on the go without having to go to the website on their laptop. And also because we have the AI tutor now, so people can learn on the mobile app
Yep.
as well. So yeah, mobile app
You-
and more features as the priority at the moment.
Fantastic. Can you tell us a little bit more about the mobile app? Is it what kind of a stack are you using for developing the app?
It is still in the early phases. So actually, last week I was just thinking about the mockups, like how it is going to look like.
Mhm.
But the platform we already decided it will probably be React Native, Expo,
I see.
and
Yeah,
then yeah, Expo mainly, Expo and React Native.
fantastic. So how have you, well, this being one of the the projects in GitHub with most of the stars, um, how have you leveraged the power of the community to help push the roadmap forward?
By getting people to help with more roadmaps is one thing. Adding content to the roadmaps is another thing. So not many people come up with the. I mean, because roadmaps is such a complicated way thing to build. So not anyone can build the roadmaps. So we could not get many help in building the roadmaps. Feature wise, also we are pretty selective. We don't want to add on more and more features and then overcomplicate things for us because we need to maintain this in the future. So we
Of
cannot
course.
get much help from there as well. Help has been mainly people have mainly helped in adding resources to the roadmaps. So if you are looking at front end roadmap, for example, if let's say that I'm learning about front end, I can come and I can say that this resource helped me learn this topic. They can open a pull request, add that resource. So resources is mainly the thing that is helped by a lot of people in adding. Other than that, community has helped mainly in suggesting, for example, this topic has become outdated, maybe replace this with that. Or for example, people are not using this, maybe consider adding this and that. So mainly the feedback in terms of what can we add, what can we remove, how can we improve the roadmaps, the topics, and so on. So this has been the main help from the community and in keeping the roadmaps up to date. Initially, it was easy because we had only like 4 roadmaps, but right now we have 55 plus roadmaps. So it is difficult for us to go through all the roadmaps every month to update, right? So now people submit issues and then we look at the issues and then this is a good indicator for us to know that this roadmap is not getting much attention. So go and revisit this roadmap.
That's fantastic. So AI, right? So everybody's talking about AI, and everybody's saying AI is changing everything, or AI is going to change everything. How you're seeing AI today, and how you're leveraging AI, and what do you see is going to be the impact, or what do you foresee is going to be the impact of AI in what we do and technology in general?
So AI, I think I've been using AI for coding for the past, like ever since Claude came out with Claude Code and also Cursor came out. I think AI in coding is going to be mainly there as a tool for you to help. I mean, all these people, like even the founder of Anthropic, he said that AI is going to replace developers in 3 to 6 months. I don't think it is true. AI is never going to replace developers. I mean, at least for the foreseeable future, developers are going to be there. It is just going to help you build things fast. And
Yeah,
anyone on Twitter who says that I built this full app without touching the code, either they're lying or they have a horrible mess of code. Because I mean, I have tried vibe coding. It can help you speed up the development. You can maybe do it for for some features, maybe you can get the MVP as well. But at one point, if you try to add more and more features, it can just forget like what you're
Yeah.
doing. There was a meme that when I built this code, only AI knew and God knew. Now only me knew and AI knew and God knew. Now I look at the code, only after some time only AI knew and God knew. Now only God knows what is going on. So AI even forgets like what it is there. Like it is really difficult for it to just become a replacement of you,
Yeah.
but it can help in some aspects. For example, I'm using AI for reviewing the issues that we get. Like daily, we get
Yeah.
like 10 to 20 issues. So maybe it can help there in identifying like what kind of issues are there. Maybe it can help with the pull requests. It can help review like is it good, is it not good, and so on. So it is there to help, but I don't think it is going to replace anytime soon. And also, I
I
mean,
am.
with the GPT-5 and the new model that they're launching, the growth was like this in the beginning, but now it is plateaued.
Yeah.
Like there's not massive growth. Like Claude GPT-5 was launched after like months and months of wait, and there was not spectacular changes. It is still almost the same things. Claude 2 is still better than Claude 2.5 is better than GPT-5.
Are you mainly using Cursor with Plod, or are you using another tool? Can you tell us a little bit more about you? What kind of tool set are you using?
Yeah, for previously I was using Cursor a lot, mainly the
Mhm.
Cursor.
Yep.
But because the cursor is integrated in the IDE, I like the
Yep.
experience. Like you can select code and ask for changes, or you can look at the file and say like do this
Yep.
and that and so on. But I like Claude Code more. And apart like for past 2 months, I've been mainly using Claude Code for actual coding, and auto completion I'm using Cursor.
Interesting.
Claude Code is better because I think it has better tool calling, and also because they are built by Anthropic, so they can modify Claude to match
Mhm.
their needs of the Claude.
Yep.
So it is much better in terms of context and so on. Cursor is good also, but Cursor with Claude is not as good as Claude with Claude Code.
And how is it being expanding the roadmap to cover the learnings of AI? Because there's a lot to learn, right? So it's a huge roadmap, right? How is it being?
Uh, I mean, AI can help you with learning as well. I mean, I also have some prompts in there that I use for learning as well. So let's say that I'm learning about Go and I need to learn about Go routines. So I would have a rules file, like a file called learner.md, where I would say, like, whenever I ask you to teach me this topic, you need to prepare a file with heavily commented out stuff, and you need to pick a topic and learn and teach me from there. And then when I ask you to teach me next, you need to keep on going through the series of steps. Like every time, create a new file, document this, and teach me concept by concept. So I mean, it can be used also for learning as well in this manner. So I'm using a lot like Claude Code for learning parts as well in this manner.
Yeah, it's I find it's a good way of when you see a code base and it tells you can ask AI, explain me this code base. It kind of accelerates your understanding of what's there as well. So it helps in many different ways. But like you said, it's yeah, I haven't seen it, but there's a lot of people being too optimistic, saying, yeah, we can create the whole thing here, and there's no human intervention. It's okay. I haven't seen that yet. So we'll
Yeah,
see how this evolves. I really like Cursor. I like the how it shows the diff, and you can like you said, you can approve what you think it makes sense. You can just skip what you don't think it makes sense. So I like that. The experience is a good experience. So
one more tool I forgot earlier. Deep Wiki. Have you tried Deep Wiki?
oh,
Deep Wiki is quite nice also. So I've been doing this lately for the open source projects. So all
okay,
you have to do is replace GitHub with deepwiki.com,
okay,
and then just put the repository. It will open up the chat for you, so you can chat with the code base. Like for example, recently I was looking at like free code camp, like how they're doing this, like how
uh-huh.
they manage the curriculum and so on. So you can open this up and chat with AI, like how they're doing this. AI will look at the course, look at the code, and tell you like how they're doing this and so on. So deepwiki is nice as well.
So what's the name of the tool again? Dip.
Deep wiki.
Okay, Dipfig. And so that's incredible because there's so many tools being produced every single day, right? So every single day there's something interesting. I use one for improving presentations as well. So you do you do a slide, but I'm not very good with graphical design. And you basically say, well, make this look nicer. And it does make it look nicer, which is quite impressive what you can do with some of the tools that are being developed. So we're kind of talking about the future, right? But looking back, and you went through like your beginning there in Pakistan and going through university and going through the multiple companies that you have gone through and going to Dubai and going to Germany and coming back to Dubai, and now you're in the UK. Looking back through the years, is there anything in particular that you'd have changed if you had an opportunity to change?
I mean, in the beginning, early days of the university, I was not focusing on one thing. I was trying to do a lot of things. So I did graphics designing, I did the mobile development, game development, desktop development, and I was focusing on trying to learn as many programming languages as possible. What I should have done was focus on some of the things, like maybe full stack development, because I knew that I want to do the web development, and then focus on projects. Entrepreneurial drive came later on, after 2 to 3 years after the graduation. If I had this early on during my university days, I had a lot of time, so it would have probably been that. So I would probably been focusing on building things a lot more, focusing on doing impactful projects rather than just a toy projects. So it would probably be the change that I would do. Like, go back and tell myself that do more projects instead of do more, like learning more languages. At one point, I was learning like random languages like F sharp, C sharp, VB.NET. All of them were doing the same thing, but in different ways. It doesn't make sense. But I mean, the hindsight, if you look at this, it was also good for me because I did not focus on one thing. Today, I can work all on roadmap all by myself without needing someone else's help. I can do the design, DevOps, back end, front end, and everything. So it was good and it was bad. But yeah, doing more projects, like wasting time on different languages, would be one thing.
So is Roadmap today still a single person show, or do you have other people helping you as well, or working as a company?
It is me, and I have one more guy. So actually, it's funny because this person, he's a student. He reached out to me when he did not have any experience. He was not learning as well. He was just learning. He was in his first semester. He sent me a message on Twitter saying that I am learning. I'm learning from Roadmap, and what would you guide me? What would you tell me, and so on. And then he asked me like, what is the font you're using for YouTube videos and so on. So he kept on asking me after every year, like a few months, he would say like, what are you using for this and that and so on. Then when Roadmap got acquired, I made a Twitter post saying that I'm looking for a person to help me with coding. If it is you, send me your portfolio. Then this person reached out to me and said that I would like to help you. And I had a call with him. He did not know anything at all, but I knew that he is trying and he had a good attitude and so on. So I decided to take him on in 23 after the acquisition. And he kept on growing as well. Right now, he's a proper full stack developer. I mean, I gave him full-time position after that, and he's sharing my work as well. Now he's like super good. Like, he has become, I would say, senior developer from
So
this.
From what you're saying, it sounds like here's you, like many years ago, like how you started, right? So it's kind of
because the drive was there. The main thing is the attitude and the drive. If you have the drive, you can do anything.
Absolutely.
There are some people who show as they have drive, but you see that it is not a drive. For example, some people would send me a message saying that, what would you guide me? Like, what should I do next? You would give them a long feedback, like, do this, and they would go away and they would never look at the feedback. You would never see any change on their GitHub. You would never see anything. But there are some people like this guy. Like, I would see, like, he is trying to do things, but you see all this little foolish projects on his GitHub. Like, he is trying to put effort, but he doesn't know like how to put focused effort. So if you have good attitude, if you're focusing, if you're trying, like if you show that you are trying, that means that you can go get somewhere.
Absolutely. So Roadmap at some point in time was a side project for you, right? Yeah. And you had your full-time job, and Roadmap was a side job for you. So now the Roadmap is your main job. What's your side job? Are you doing anything as a side job that you can share with us?
So roadmap has been the main job. I mean, money wise, I don't have to. I have to really care about anything else right now. I
Yep.
don't have to worry about like making money from somewhere else, and this constant need of I need to build something to make money from and so on. So what I do always since the early days of my career, I have always have a side project on the side. I try to always have a side project because there are some people, the beginners especially, they think that they will learn a job and their job has to teach them everything. If the job is not teaching them, they think that I mean their job is bad. They need to change the job. I think the mindset should be that 9 to 5 is there to make you money, and you just need to focus on that for making money. All the learning, if your company is teaching you, good. You can't force them to teach you anything because they have their business goals and so on. Always have a side project. I started as a backend developer. If I stayed with the job learning, I would still be a backend developer. I wanted
Mhm.
to do full stack development. I wanted to do front end development. I wanted to do designing, the motion design, the graphics, and so on. I started this as a side project. I would pick something up and I would focus on that. Like if I need to learn something, I would build some side project with that and keep on doing that. So I always have a side project because of that. My current side project has been like I was trying to learn short form video making and the motion graphics. I had some experience with the YouTube videos and so on, but I did not know how to make short form videos. So I started my Instagram recently. So I've been making videos there. Like I would spend maybe like half an hour to 1 hour daily, make a video on something that I want to learn or I want to share, and I would post a video about that. So right now it is mostly the focus has been that.
Fantastic. And so, outside of technology, are there books or films or any hobbies that you like that you'd recommend? You'd like to share the community here in the audience?
Books wise, I mean, if you read one book, it would be Designing Data Intensive Applications by Martin Klebman.
Mm.
So this is the best book I think I've ever read on the topic of this designing large scale applications. So I would say I would recommend that you read that. On the movie side, I'm not super into movies, but I do watch movies and TV series from time to time. Dark Matter is one TV series that I recently watched. So yeah, and apart from that, I mean, I have other hobbies like I play football. I used to play a lot before, but now not so much. But every other week I play football, maybe a little bit badminton, and then I'm busy with kids. I have two small daughters, so I just take
Yep.
them on the weekends for them. I would take them to maybe playground or park or somewhere. So yeah, mostly that. So during the week, I would spend after work maybe 1 hour or so at night working on some things of my own. Weekend, I would spend Saturday and Sunday is for my kids. Sunday evening is for me also. Sunday evening, I would spend for my own stuff.
So it's are you a science fiction fan?
Yeah, but it depends. So Dark Matter is science fiction, and it is
Yep.
more about like multiverse and so on.
Yep.
So I like this. Yeah,
Did you watch Foundation? Are you following Foundation at all
no,
on Apple TV?
is
I
it?
I recommend you do. So I think they're on season 3 now, and it's really good. So if you read the books from Isaac Asimov,
Mhm.
and it's a trilogy, so it's incredible. So it's really good. So watch. If you like Dark Matter, Foundation is different, but it's absolutely fantastic. So
Mhm.
it's really good show. The other one is For All Mankind. It's also on Apple TV. So because
Which one?
Dark Matter was for all mankind.
Oh, my, okay,
It's
nice.
yeah, it's about let's say the space race was won by the Russians, not the Americans, and then everything changes after that. So it's a kind of a alternative reality regarding the space race and how that impacts society and how that impacted the whole space exploration. So it's really worth exploring. If you want some recommendations here for shows to watch, those are good shows to watch as well. If you like Dark Matter, you're going to like these other shows as well.
Nice. I put that on.
So I want to be respectful of your time here. Is there a question that you wish I had asked that I did not ask?
Question. I would just say, I mean, the tip for beginners. Uh, there are two tips for beginners. The first one is like, don't stick with a job for more than 3 years at max. So stay with 3 years. And then look for another job. The second tip is, and we can talk about like why. Why is that? Because when you're working at 3 years at a company, you become complacent, because you have this easy to do things, like the code base, the people, everyone knows you, and you just stay there, and you're not worried about finding another job. Everything is fine, but you are limiting your self learning as well. So I would say look for another job after 3 years. You get the pay bump, you get to learn different things, and you need to put yourself in a difficult situation. The second thing is, don't be scared easily. Whenever you get a new task, like most of the beginners, especially me early in the careers, I would just get scared, like, what is this? Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'll not be able to do this, and so on. But always keep this in mind, that whenever you get some task, it is going to feel difficult in the beginning. Then you start working, then it will become easy. Then you get different task, it will again be difficult. You start working, it will be easy. Difficult, easy, difficult, easy. So you have to just remember that everything that you're going to get is going to be difficult in the beginning, but if you spend some time, it is going to become easy. Whether it is a bug that you need to solve, whether it is a project or a task that you need to do, don't be scared by it, and then don't leave the opportunity. At the service-based company that I was doing, like, they would always have some complicated project, and they would ask, like, who wants to work on this? If I just had kept on saying, no, this is difficult, I would not do it, maybe I will not be able to do it, I would have never been anywhere. I got all this learning because of that. And the third thing is the side projects. Always have a side project. Never waste your time thinking that your employer is the one who's going to define your career. You have to define your own career. If you need your next job to be DevOps engineer, let's say, start working on this now, and do some interviews and get the idea about what they're asking in the interviews. Keep on learning. Do proper side projects, impactful side projects. And yeah, that's it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for the recommendations, and thank you for the time. And Kamran, again, it's been a privilege to speak with you. And I look forward to seeing what you're going to continue to do and all your side projects. And I'm sure there'll be always great projects coming from you. Thank you so much for your time. And just spend 1 minute here with me. I'll stop recording, and we'll speak a little bit more.
Sure.
It just push the button here so we can stop the recording.